I never thought I'd become the kind of person who records everything, but when you've been invisible your whole life, sometimes proof is all you have. My name is Tegan, and I'm watching my cousin Valentina steal $2,000 from my purse on video again. The first time I watched the footage, my hands shook so badly I dropped my phone. Now, 3 hours later, I've replayed it 17 times. The nanny cam caught everything. Valentina's designer heels clicking across my kitchen floor during last night's family dinner. Her perfectly manicured hands reaching into my purse, finding the envelope I'd hidden in the inner pocket. "Oh, pathetic Tegan," she whispers on the recording, counting the bills. "Still hiding cash like a teenager. Who even carries this much anymore?" She laughs, tucking the envelope into her own bag. It's not like she'll notice, and if she does, who'd believe her anyway? The money was for Nathan's therapy, 2 months of extra shifts at the diner, tips saved $1 at a time, hidden away for my son's next round of treatment. The doctors say early intervention is crucial for kids with cerebral palsy. I say $2,000 is what stands between my 7-year-old and a chance at better mobility. But Valentina didn't know that. Or maybe she did. Maybe that made it sweeter for her. "Mama!" Nathan's soft voice pulls me from the screen. He's struggling with his walker, trying to reach his water cup on the counter. I pause the video and rush to help him. "I've got you, baby." I steady his grip on the cup, watching him take careful sips. Good job. The dinner party replay burns in my mind. Valentina announcing her engagement to Rogelio while everyone cooed and clapped. Nathan had been struggling with his special chair, and I'd asked for help adjusting it. 3 times. No one even looked our way. My phone buzzes. It's Zoe. "Tell me you're not still watching it," she says when I answer. I need to be sure. "You are sure? You've been sure since you counted the money this morning. Question is, what are you going to do about it?" I look at Nathan, now contentedly watching his favourite show. I could confront her, tell Mom and Aunt Alice what she did. Zoe snorts. "Right, because they believed you about the birthday money last year? Or the misplaced Christmas gift cards?" She's right. I've always been the family's designated doormat, poor, struggling Tegan, always making excuses, always asking for help, always imagining slights. Meanwhile, Valentina floats through life on a cloud of family worship and stolen dreams. "No," I say slowly, an idea forming. "Not this time. I have proof now." "Tegan?" The nanny cam catches audio too, crystal clear, and this isn't the first time I've recorded her being herself. "What are you thinking?" I walk to my bedroom, pulling out a small box from under my bed. Inside are USB drives, labelled by date. Every family gathering, every accidental recording of Valentina's true colours. I've been collecting them without even realising why. I'm thinking it's time everyone saw the real Valentina, not today, not tomorrow, but soon. "That's actually kind of scary," Zoe says. I like it, but what's the end game here? My phone pings with a text. It's Valentina, of all people. "Thanks for coming last night. Don't forget my engagement party is in 2 weeks. Formal dress required." I stare at the message, then at the paused video showing her pocketing my money. Something cold and certain settles in my chest. "The end game," I tell Zoe. "I'm going to her engagement party. I'm going to dress up, smile pretty, and then I'm going to press play in front of everyone she's ever fooled." "Holy, are you sure? This could blow up your whole family." I watch Nathan through the doorway, determination hardening my resolve. They stopped being family the moment they chose to never see us. Besides, I add, saving the latest video to my collection, Valentina's right about one thing. "What's that?" Nobody notices the quiet one in the corner until she decides to speak up. I hang up and send Valentina a reply. Wouldn't miss it for the world. The background girl is about to become the main act, and I've got front row seats to the show. "You were always such a quiet child," Mum says, stirring her coffee. "Sometimes I'd forget you were even in the room." We're sitting in her pristine kitchen, where she's summoned me to discuss Valentina's engagement party. Nathan is at his morning therapy session. the one I can barely afford now. I remember, I say, keeping my voice neutral. I was right there when you told Aunt Alice that Valentina should be the flower girl instead of me at my own father's funeral. Mum's spoon clinks against her cup. That was different. You were so shy, and Valentina had such presence. Besides, you were 12, practically too old for it anyway. I press record on my phone, hidden in my lap. Another clip for my collection. Speaking of Valentina, Mum continues, she's worried you might not have anything suitable to wear to her party. She's offered to lend you something. How thoughtful. I sip my water, remembering the sound of Valentina counting my stolen money. But I've got it covered. Really? Mum's eyebrows rise. Because this is at the Grand Plaza Hotel. Rogelio's family will be there. We can't have you showing up in... Well, in what, Mum? She waves at my waitress uniform. You know what I mean. This is important for the family. Valentina's marrying into the Marshall fortune. We need to present our best face. My phone buzzes. A text from Zoe. Got the audio editing software. Ready when you are. I won't embarrass anyone, I say, standing up. Promise. Later that evening, I'm working my second job at the hotel restaurant when I spot Rogelio in the lobby. He's with his mother discussing wedding details. I adjust my serving tray to hear better. Valentina is just perfect, his mother gushes. So refined, so genuine. You've chosen well. Rogelio beams. She's amazing with charity work too. Did you know she volunteers at children's hospitals? I almost dropped my tray. Last month, Valentina had mocked Nathan's physical therapy, calling it repetitive and boring. The recording of that is particularly clear. My phone buzzes again. This time it's Valentina. Mum says you're being difficult about the dress. Don't be proud, Tegan. Let me help you look presentable for once. I show the text to Zoe during my break. She's got nerve, Zoe says, editing another audio clip where Valentina calls me a charity case. When are you going to tell me what's on all these recordings? When it's ready. I watch her work. It needs to be perfect. Every word, every laugh, every cruel comment. Girl, you're kind of scary when you're plotting. I think about the years of being overlooked, of swallowing my words, of watching Valentina take and take while I struggled to give Nathan basics. You know what's scary, I say. I found more recordings from the past 6 months. Valentina stealing from Aunt Alice's purse. Valentina mocking Hazel's miscarriage. Valentina bragging about lying to Rogelio about her volunteer work. She never thought anyone was listening. But you were. I was always there, the quiet one, the ghost daughter. I laugh softly. Mum actually did me a favour, teaching me to be invisible. No one performs for the wallpaper. My phone rings. It's the therapy centre. My stomach drops as they remind me about next week's payment. I can't make it this month, I tell them, voice tight. Can we reschedule? Zoe watches me hang up, her expression hardening. Okay, that's it. Give me all the recordings. Every single one. We're doing this right. We spend the next 3 hours piecing together the perfect sequence. Valentina stealing, Valentina mocking, Valentina revealing her true self when she thought no one mattered enough to notice. It's ready, Zoe announces finally. 5 minutes of pure, unfiltered truth. What are you going to do with it? I think about Nathan working so hard in therapy, about Mum's dismissal this morning, about Rogelio's genuine smile when he talked about his genuine fiancée. First, I say, I'm going to borrow your black cocktail dress. Then I'm going to walk into that engagement party looking exactly like what they expect. Quiet, grateful Tegan. And then I play the opening of our edited masterpiece. Valentina's voice crystal clear saying, "No one important enough to matter will ever hear this anyway." Then I'm going to show them exactly who they've been ignoring all these years. I save the file and name it The Real Valentina. Sometimes the quiet ones have the most to say. Zoe stares at me. You know there's no going back after this, right? I think about my empty emergency fund, about Nathan's missed therapy, about years of being the family ghost. Good, I say. Going back is the last thing I want to do. Hold still, Zoe commands, pinning up another section of my hair. You want to look perfect for this. The black dress fits like it was made for me. 3 days of tips went into the professional makeup, and I don't regret a cent. For once I want them to see me, really see me, before I tear their perfect world apart. Nathan's all set with the sitter, Zoe asks, wielding the curling iron. Mrs. Rodriguez from next door, she's good with him. I check my phone. 3 missed calls from Mum, 2 texts from Valentina about the borrowed dress she still wants me to wear. You're sure about this? Zoe meets my eyes in the mirror. Once you play that recording? I wasn't. I touched the flash drive hanging from a delicate chain around my neck. Until this morning. Earlier today, during my breakfast shift at the hotel, I'd overheard Valentina in the lobby. She was with her wedding planner discussing the engagement party. Just keep Tegan and her kid away from the main tables, she'd said. Put them somewhere discreet. You know how these things can get awkward with special needs children. I'd nearly dropped an entire tray of mimosas. Instead, I'd pulled out my phone and added one more clip to the collection. A knock at my apartment door makes us both jump. It's Hazel, my sister, looking uncertain. Mum sent me to check on you, she says, stepping inside. She's worried you'll... She stops, seeing me in the dress. Wow, you look amazing. Thanks. I watch her carefully. Hazel's always been the neutral one, floating between family factions. Did she send you to talk me out of coming? Actually. Hazel sits on my bed. I came to tell you something. About Valentina. My heart speeds up. What about her? Last month, when I lost the baby... Hazel's voice cracks. I overheard her telling people at church it was because I didn't take care of myself, that I was too career-focused. I share a look with Zoe. That recording is already in our compilation. I'm sorry, I say softly. That must have hurt. It did, but what hurt more was everyone believing her. Hazel stands up. Whatever you're planning tonight, and don't tell me you're not planning something, just make it count. After she leaves, Zoe and I finish the final preparations. The flash drive contains 2 copies of the recording, one for the DJ booth, one as backup. My phone holds a 3rd. Ready for the final test? Zoe asks. I press play. Valentina's voice fills the room. Poor little Tegan, always needing handouts. Did you see her begging for help with that defective kid of hers? My hands shake, but I keep listening. Her laughter during the theft. Her cruel comments about Hazel. Her lies about charity work. Her true self, exposed in perfect audio quality. It's good, I say, stopping the playback. Too good to ignore. My phone buzzes. A text from Rogelio. Looking forward to seeing you tonight. Valentina says you're like a sister to her. Sister, I mutter. Right. Zoe squeezes my shoulder. Last chance to back out. I think about Nathan, working twice as hard in half as many therapy sessions now. About years of being the family shame, the quiet burden, the invisible daughter. No backing out. I check my reflection one final time. They want a show. They're getting one. Just remember, Zoe says, helping me with my coat, whatever happens after this, you've got me. And Nathan. And maybe even Hazel. And the truth, I add, touching the flash drive, finally. We head out into the evening, the city lights glittering like promises. The Grand Plaza Hotel looms ahead, its rooftop already glowing with party lights. Somewhere up there, Valentina is holding court, basking in adoration, believing herself untouchable. You know what the worst part is, I tell Zoe as we park. She could have just asked for help if she needed money. I would have helped her even after everything. But she chose to steal from Nathan's therapy fund. She chose to mock him. And now you're choosing too, Zoe says. Just make sure this is about justice, not just revenge. I think about the recordings, about each calculated cruelty caught on tape. Maybe it's both. My phone lights up one last time. Mom, please don't do anything to upset your cousin's special night. I type back, "Don't worry, Mom, everyone's going to get exactly what they deserve." The hotel doorman greets us with a practiced smile. Music drifts down from the rooftop, along with the sound of laughter and clinking glasses. In a few hours, those same people will hear the truth about their golden girl. "Ready?" Zoe asks. I straighten my shoulders, feeling the weight of the flash drive against my skin. I've been ready my whole life. We step into the elevator and I watch the floor numbers climb, like a countdown to detonation. The rooftop terrace sparkles like a fairy tale. White roses everywhere, crystal champagne flutes catching the light, and Valentina at the centre of it all, in a dress that probably costs more than my monthly rent. "Tegan!" She air kisses my cheeks. "You actually cleaned up nice. That dress is unexpected. Full of surprises, aren't I?" I touch the flash drive hidden beneath my neckline. "Rogelio, darling." Valentina waves him over. "Come meet my cousin, the one I told you about." Rogelio appears, champagne in hand. "Ah yes, the shy but sweet one. Valentina mentions you often." "Does she?" I smile, thinking of the recordings. "How nice." "She told me about your son," he continues. "Such a shame. But there are some excellent institutions that could help with his situation." My fingers tighten around my clutch. Nathan's situation is just fine. He's making progress in therapy. The therapy he's missing because someone stole our money. Of course, Valentina cuts in smoothly. "Tegan's very protective. Shall we mingle, darling?" They drift away, but not before I catch Valentina's whispered, "See what I mean?" So defensive. I scan the crowd. Mum and Aunt Alice are by the bar, heads together. Hazel stands alone near the edge, watching everything. The DJ booth is unattended. Perfect. "First copy planted," Zoe texts from downstairs. "Ready when you are." I make my way to the bar, deliberately within earshot of Mum and Aunt Alice. "Always been difficult," Mum is saying, "if she'd just accept help like Valentina offers." "At least she showed up presentable," Aunt Alice replies, "though that dress is a bit much, trying too hard if you ask me." I order a water, letting their words wash over me like they have for years. But tonight's different. Tonight I'm not swallowing their judgment. "Ladies," I turn to them, smiling, discussing my fashion choices. They startle, caught. Mum recovers first. "We're just concerned, honey. You seem different lately." "Different how?" "More aggressive," Aunt Alice says. "Ever since you accused Valentina of—" "Of what?" I interrupt. "Taking things that don't belong to her?" The music shifts, and Valentina's voice carries across the terrace. "Everyone, gather round. Rogelio has something to say." We all move toward the centre. Rogelio raises his glass, beaming at his fiancée. "I just want to thank everyone for coming tonight. When I met Valentina, I knew she was special. Her kindness, her honesty." I almost laugh out loud. Her dedication to helping others. My phone buzzes. Zoe again. "Final version uploaded. Sound check complete. Say the word." Valentina is glowing under Rogelio's praise, accepting congratulations from all sides. She's wearing new earrings, probably bought with my stolen money. "And now," she announces, "I'd like to say something about family." I move closer to the DJ booth, heart pounding. "Family means everything to me," she continues. "The way we support each other, lift each other up." "Ready to lift the mask, cousin?" I whisper, touching the flash drive. "Even those of us who struggle," her eyes find me in the crowd, "can always count on family." The DJ returns to his station. It's now or never. "Actually," I speak up, loud enough to turn heads, "I'd like to say something too." Valentina's smile freezes. "Oh, Tegan, that's not really—" "About family," I continue, walking to the centre. "About truth. About what happens behind closed doors when no one's watching." I pause. "Or when someone is." Mum steps forward. "Tegan, don't—" "It's fine, Mum. I'm just sharing some memories. Valentina loves family stories, don't you, cousin?" Valentina's face has lost its glow. She knows me too well to think I'm here for simple congratulations. In fact, I reach for my necklace. I brought a little recording, something to commemorate all our special family moments. Tegan. Hazel's voice carries a warning, or maybe encouragement. The crowd murmurs, confused but intrigued. Rogelio looks between me and Valentina, sensing tension. "What recording?" Valentina asks, her voice sharp. I hold up the flash drive, watching her recognize it. "Just some greatest hits. Want to hear them?" She takes a step toward me, but it's too late. I've already moved to the DJ booth, and my fingers hover over the laptop. "Don't," she says, but it comes out weak. "Don't what?" I ask loudly. "Don't tell the truth. Don't show everyone who you really are. Don't play the part of the quiet, grateful cousin anymore." The party has gone silent. All eyes are on us. "Please," she whispers. I think of Nathan, working so hard for every small victory, of years of swallowed words and stolen moments. "You should have just asked for help," I tell her. Then I press play. The first notes of her laughter fill the speakers, and I watch her perfect world begin to crack. "Poor little Tegan," Valentina's voice echoes across the rooftop. "Always needing handouts. Did you see her begging for help with that defective kid of hers?" The champagne glasses freeze mid-air. Rogelio's smile vanishes. "That's not me," Valentina says quickly. "That's not. Someone must have edited." The recording continues. "It's not like she'll notice the money's gone, and if she does, who'd believe her anyway?" Aunt Alice sways on her feet. "Valentina?" "Oh, but wait," I say, raising my voice over the murmurs. "There's more. Here's what you said about Hazel's miscarriage." Valentina lunges for the DJ booth, but I dodge. Her perfectly curled hair swings wild as she grabs at air. "Turn it off." "Like you turned off your conscience?" I counter. "Let's hear what you told the church ladies about your own cousin's loss." The recording shifts. Valentina's distinctive laugh rings out. She probably did it to herself. Too focused on work to be a proper mother. Unlike me, I was born to be a mum. Hazel's sharp intake of breath cuts through the silence. Rogelio steps away from his fiancée, his face ashen. "And here's my personal favourite," I continue, cueing the next clip. "Your volunteer work at children's hospitals?" "Rogelio, don't listen," Valentina starts. Her own voice betrays her. "Those hospital photo ops are so boring. Stand there, smile at sick kids, pretend to care. But Rogelio's mother eats it up. She thinks I'm some kind of saint." The crowd shifts uncomfortably. Someone whispers, "I knew I never saw her at St. Mary's." "You want to know where the money for those designer shoes came from?" I ask, my voice steady. "The ones you're wearing right now?" The recording plays the sound of rustling, then counting. $2,000. Stupid Tegan hiding cash in her purse. This'll cover my new Louboutins. "That money was for my son's therapy," I say into the horrified silence. "Nathan's cerebral palsy treatment. The sessions he's missing now." Mum steps forward, her face pale. "Tegan, that's enough." "No, Mum, it's not. For once in your life, listen." I turn up the volume. "Listen to your perfect niece mock your grandson." Valentina's cruel imitation of Nathan's speech difficulties fills the air. Several guests leave their drinks and walk out. Rogelio's mother covers her mouth. "This is slander," Valentina shrieks. "I'll sue you." "For recording you being yourself?" I pull out my phone. "I have the original videos, timestamps, witnesses. Want to see the nanny cam footage of you stealing from my purse?" "Val," Rogelio's voice is quiet. "Is this real?" "Of course not. She's jealous. She's always been jealous." "Then why do I remember you saying these exact words about Hazel?" he asks. "I thought I misheard you then. I must have been wrong." Aunt Alice suddenly slumps, and two guests catch her before she hits the ground. Mum runs to her sister, but her eyes stay fixed on me. "You've ruined everything," Valentina spits at me. "Are you happy now?" I think of Nathan, struggling through physical therapy with fewer sessions. Of Hazel, crying alone after her loss. Of years of watching Valentina take and take while everyone praised her generosity. Happy? No. I stop the recording. But maybe now they'll see the real you, the one I've always seen. I have the raw footage downstairs, Zoe calls from the doorway, unedited, in case anyone wants to verify. Rogelio walks to the DJ booth, his face hard. I would. No! Valentina grabs his arm. Darling, please! Don't. He shakes her off. Just don't. The party dissolves into chaos. Guests whisper and point. Aunt Alice sobs dramatically while Mum fans her. Hazel stands alone, tears streaming down her face. You'll regret this, Valentina hisses as she storms past me. I'll make sure of it. I watch her go, the weight of the flash drive finally lifting from my chest. No, I say quietly. I won't. Rogelio pauses beside me. I'm sorry about Nathan's therapy. How much? Don't. I shake my head. This wasn't about money. He nods slowly. No, I suppose it wasn't. He pulls out his phone, types something. But I'm making a donation to the therapy centre anyway. They should know what happened. As the rooftop empties, Mum approaches me. Her hands shake. All this time, she whispers. All those things she said about Nathan? You never wanted to hear it before. No, she admits. I didn't. I gather my things, suddenly exhausted. The truth is out, but it feels less like victory and more like surviving a storm. Tegan? Hazel calls as I reach the door. Thank you, for the truth. I nod, thinking of Nathan waiting at home, of all the stories I'll never have to swallow again. The truth, I say, was always there. Someone just needed to press play. The aftermath hits faster than I expected. By midnight, my phone won't stop buzzing. Have you seen Facebook? Zoe asks when I call her. The video's everywhere. Someone at the party recorded my revelation on their phone. Now Valentina's true voice is spreading across social media, along with photos of her tearful exit from the rooftop. Tegan, Mum's calling on the other line. We need to talk. Alice is in the hospital. Stress-induced panic attack, Hazel explains when I arrive at the emergency room. She collapsed after you left. The doctors say she'll be fine, but... But what? But she's demanding everyone choose sides. Hazel looks exhausted. Mum's with her now. They're talking about suing you for defamation. A nurse interrupts us. Miss Holmes, your sister's asking for you. Hazel squeezes my hand before following the nurse. Whatever happens, I'm on your side. My phone buzzes again. Rogelio. Can we meet? There's something you should know. I find him at a quiet coffee shop near the hospital. He looks like he hasn't slept. The wedding's off, he says before I can sit down. But that's not why I called. Valentina, she's saying things, making threats. What kind of threats? He slides his phone across the table. On the screen is a private message from Valentina. If Tegan wants to play dirty, wait until her ex hears about this. Nash would love to know how she's using their son for attention. My blood runs cold. Nash, Nathan's father, has been absent for years, but he still has rights. She's already contacted him, Rogelio continues. I'm sorry, I had to warn you. As if on cue, my phone lights up with an unknown number. Nash. So you're famous now, he drawls when I answer. Our son's medical issues becoming quite the social media sensation. Nash. My lawyer will be calling. If you're stable enough to plan public takedowns, you're stable enough for a custody evaluation. The line goes dead. My hands shake as I set the phone down. I'll help, Rogelio says quietly. My family has good lawyers. What she did, stealing from a child's therapy fund, that's criminal. Why are you helping me? Because I almost married someone who mocks disabled children. His face hardens. And because doing nothing makes me as bad as she is. Outside the coffee shop, reality keeps crashing in. Aunt Alice's event planning company has lost 3 major clients after the video went viral. Mum isn't speaking to her sister for the first time in decades. Valentina's perfect life is crumbling, but she's determined to take me down with her. The therapy centre called, Zoe tells me when I get home. They saw the video. They're offering Nathan free sessions for the next 3 months. I sink onto my couch, watching Nathan sleep peacefully in his special bed. It doesn't feel like winning. Because it's not over, she says, but you're not alone anymore. She's right. My phone keeps buzzing, but now it's different. Messages from other parents at Nathan's therapy centre, from distant relatives who'd witnessed Valentina's behaviour but stayed quiet, from Hazel's friends sharing their own stories of Valentina's cruelty. Even Mum calls again, her voice smaller than I've ever heard it. I should have listened, she says. All those times you tried to tell me. Yes, I answer, you should have. Nash called me, about custody. She pauses. I told him if he tries anything, I'll testify about how he abandoned his son, about the missed child support, everything. Before I can respond, another call comes in. It's Aunt Alice's husband. They're releasing her tomorrow, he says. But she's different. The video, the comments, seeing herself through other people's eyes. I think it broke something in her. And Valentina? Gone, packed a bag and disappeared. But she left something for you. An envelope arrives by courier an hour later. Inside is $2,000 and a note. You won? Happy now? I stare at the money that could have spared Nathan weeks of missed therapy. At the bitter words from a cousin who still doesn't understand this was never about winning. What are you going to do? Zoe asks when I show her. I look at the cash, then at Nathan's empty therapy schedule for next week, at the social media storm still raging, at the missed calls from Nash's lawyer. I'm going to do what I should have done years ago, I say, reaching for my phone. I'm going to fight, not for revenge this time, for Nathan, for truth, for everything they tried to make me too quiet to defend. The money I donate to the therapy centre's scholarship fund. The note I keep. Evidence for whatever battles come next. Because Valentina was wrong again. This isn't about winning or losing. It's about finally being heard. Ms. Holmes? The custody mediator adjusts her glasses. Your ex-husband has raised some concerns about your recent public actions. It's been 3 weeks since the engagement party. Nash sits across the table, wearing a suit that still has the price tag tucked inside the sleeve, trying to look like a concerned father after 6 years of absence. My actions? I keep my voice steady. You mean exposing someone who stole money meant for my son's medical care? Your son's care is exactly why we're here, Nash's lawyer interjects. Mr. Rivera has concerns about the child's exposure to family conflict and social media attention. Funny, I say, pulling out a folder, because I have records of every therapy session Nathan missed due to unpaid child support, every birthday Nash skipped, every medical decision he left me to handle alone. The mediator reviews the documents. Mr. Rivera, can you explain these gaps in involvement? Before Nash can answer, my phone buzzes. It's Hazel. Turn on the local news now. The mediator's assistant flips on the office TV at my request. There's Valentina standing outside the Grand Plaza Hotel, tears streaming down her perfectly made-up face. I want to apologise, she's saying into a forest of microphones, to my family, to Rogelio, but especially to my cousin Tegan and her son. What I did was inexcusable. Nash's lawyer straightens. This wasn't part of their plan. The money I took, Valentina continues, was meant for my nephew's cerebral palsy therapy. I knew that when I stole it. I knew it would hurt him. I did it anyway. The mediator turns to Nash. Did you know about this theft when you filed for custody review? He shifts uncomfortably. That's not relevant to... Actually, Rogelio says from the doorway, it's very relevant. Everyone turns. He enters with a woman I recognise as his family's attorney. Sorry to interrupt, Rogelio continues, but we have evidence that Mr. Rivera was coordinating with Valentina to file this custody claim as retaliation. Text messages, recorded calls, all documenting their plan to use Nathan as leverage. Nash stands up. You can't just barge in here. Sit down, the mediator orders. Mr. Marshall, please continue. By the time we leave the office, Nash's custody challenge is withdrawn. His lawyer won't meet my eyes. Thank you, I tell Rogelio outside. But why did Valentina confess? Because I gave her a choice, he says. Come clean about everything or face theft charges. Turns out she's stolen from others too. The hospital charity funds, her mother's accounts. My phone rings. Mom. Are you watching? She asks. Alice just fainted again. But before that, she admitted Valentina's been stealing from her for years. The company's missing funds, the lost contracts. It wasn't just bad luck. I think of all the times Aunt Alice blamed her business struggles on market conditions, while Valentina showed off new designer purchases. There's more, Mum says quietly. I'm selling my house, moving closer to you and Nathan, if that's okay. Why? Because I've missed enough, and because your sister needs us. She's pregnant again. The news hits like a wave. Hazel, trying again after everything. Mum, finally choosing us. The family reshaping itself around truth instead of pretense. Did you see the comments? Zoe texts later. People are sharing stories about their own Valentinas. You started something. She sends screenshots, support groups forming, parents of disabled children connecting, people standing up to their own family bullies. Never thought pressing play could change so much, I text back. That evening, I take Nathan to therapy. The centre's put up a new sign, the Home Scholarship Fund, making treatment accessible. Look what your mum did, his therapist tells him, helping him with an exercise. She made sure other kids like you can get help too. Nathan smiles, that pure, perfect smile that made every battle worth fighting. Then he does something new. He takes 3 assisted steps instead of 2. Progress, the therapist beams. He's getting stronger. My phone buzzes one last time. An email from Valentina sent to the whole family. I'm getting help. Real help, not just PR cleanup. I don't expect forgiveness. But watching Nathan's therapy video, the one I mocked, I finally saw what strength actually looks like. It's not designer clothes or perfect parties. It's 3 assisted steps when 2 used to be impossible. Tegan, you showed me what real courage is, not by exposing me, but by refusing to be silenced. I'm starting over somewhere new, learning to be someone new. The money's been repaid to everyone I stole from, with interest. Tell Nathan his aunt is sorry. Tell him he has more fight in his little finger than I've had in my whole life. Tell him his mum is the strongest person I know. I delete the email without responding. Some bridges stay burned. But watching Nathan work, hearing Mom and Hazel's voices mixing with Zoe's in the waiting room, I realise something. Sometimes losing a false family makes room for a real one to grow. Ready for your big speech? Zoe adjusts my blazer as we stand outside the therapy centre's new wing. The crowd gathering for the opening ceremony includes faces both familiar and new. Mum's there holding Nathan's hand. Hazel sits in the front row, one hand resting on her growing belly. Even Aunt Alice hovers at the back, looking smaller somehow, more human. I still can't believe they named it after him, I say, watching Nathan's name gleam on the building's facade, the Nathan Centre for Inclusive Therapy. Believe it, Rogelio approaches, camera crew in tow. The Foundation's proud to fund this, though I suspect your story convinced the board more than my pitch did. The story, my quiet rebellion that turned into a movement. The video that exposed Valentina went viral, but what followed mattered more. Thousands of people sharing similar experiences, fighting similar battles, finding their voices. Mrs. Rodriguez says Nathan took 5 steps yesterday, Mum tells me, beaming with genuine grandmother pride. 5? 6, actually, I correct her. He was showing off for Hazel's ultrasound video. The ceremony begins. I take the podium, facing the crowd of parents, children, therapists and supporters. My hands don't shake anymore when people look at me. Most of you know how this started, I begin. With stolen therapy money and a recording that changed everything, but that's not why we're here today. Nathan waves from his specialised chair, and I wave back. We're here because every child deserves a voice, whether they speak with words, signs, devices, or through the people who love them. Every parent deserves to be heard when they advocate for their child. I spot Aunt Alice dabbing her eyes. This centre isn't about revenge or exposure. It's about making sure no family has to choose between therapy and groceries. No parent has to beg relatives who won't listen. No child has to miss treatment because someone decided they weren't worth the investment. The crowd murmurs in agreement. I see heads nodding, hands squeezing other hands. My son takes 6 steps now where he once took none. He smiles when he achieves something new. He persists when things are hard, and he's not alone anymore. I gesture to the families gathered around us. Look around. This is what happens when we refuse to be silent. When we stand up and say, my child matters, their progress matters, their future matters. After the speech, during the reception, Aunt Alice approaches me. Valentina called yesterday, she says softly. She's working at a rehabilitation centre in Seattle. Actually working, not just photo ops. Good for her. She asked about Nathan. I told her he's thriving. Alice hesitates. I also told her I'm sorry I didn't see what was happening, what she was becoming, what I was enabling. Before I can respond, Nathan's therapist calls us over. He's ready to demonstrate his progress for the cameras. We gather around as Nathan grips his walker. 6 steps, 7, 8, each one a victory, each one proof that being heard matters. Look at you go, champion, Hazel cheers. Mum's crying openly now. Later, as the crowd thins, Zoe finds me on the centre's rooftop garden. Remember when we edited that recording? She asks. Did you ever imagine it would lead to this? I watch the sunset paint the city gold. I imagined making them see us. I never imagined we'd end up seeing ourselves differently too. My phone buzzes. Another donation alert for the centre's scholarship fund. They keep coming, small amounts from people who understand what it means to fight for a child's future. The funny thing is, I tell Zoe, I thought exposing Valentina would be the end of something. Instead, it was just the beginning. Mum, Nathan calls from inside, come see. We rush down to find him standing straighter than ever in his new therapy equipment, face determined. 9 steps, his therapist announces proudly, a new record. I hug him carefully, this boy who taught me that the quietest people often have the most to say, who showed me that strength isn't about volume, it's about persistence. I kept the recording, you know, Zoe mentions as we watch Nathan work. The original one from the party. Want me to delete it? I think about Valentina's confession, about Aunt Alice's tears, about Mom selling her house to be closer to us, about karma and consequences, and how healing rarely looks the way we expect. No, I decide, keep it. Not as a weapon anymore, as a reminder. Of what? I watch Nathan take his 10th step of the day, his smile brighter than any revenge could ever be. That sometimes the best way to be heard is to stand up, step forward, and let truth do the talking. The setting sun streams through the windows, catching the letters of Nathan's name on the wall. My son, my voice, our future. 9 steps today, 10 tomorrow. Each one echoing louder than any silence they tried to impose on us. Each one proving that the quietest warriors often win the most important battles.